All right, you guys, last keynote of the day, and we've saved the best for last. It is my honor to introduce our next and last keynote speaker, actress and singer Coco Jones. Woo! Y'all know her for her starting role. Yes, welcome, Coco. Amazing. So I'm going to give a spiel about the amazing person you are. You guys know her from her starring role as Roxanne Andrew in Disney Channel Television's movie Let It Shine. In 2015, she also took her talents to the Broadway stage, where she was Jane on stage in A Bronx Tale musical directed by Robert De Niro. Amazing. And she can currently be seen starring in the Peacock series show Bel Air as Hilary Banks. She was recently also signed to Def Jam Records and has been working in the studio with some amazing producers. She just came out with a single in March with more music on the way later this summer. So we are so excited to speak with you and hear that music and learn about all of your amazing artistic journeys. Thank you so much, Coco.
Thank you for having me. Hey, y'all.
All right, so Coco, let's talk about your early days. So help us slip into the scene. You were a child star, really, involved in Disney. You were a young rising star in Hollywood. You starred in Let It Shine. You were also part of the Next Big Things singing competition with Radio Disney. What was it like growing up as a young star in that time? And did you have goals and aspirations in the entertainment industry starting from that young age?
Well, first of all, hi. Thank you for having me. This is so beautiful, and I can feel like all the love in the room and all the female power. It's just eating. So how did it feel? I don't know. I mean, I think it was like a dream, because when you're a kid, everyone has like these dreams like, I want to be an astronaut, or like, I want to be this. And I was like, I want to be the next Hannah Montana. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was very clear where I wanted my life to go. And I was actually playing basketball at the time, too. And I had to choose between what I was going to give my all to. And I just couldn't compare anything to the way I felt on stage or on a set, like the way I felt singing. And so that's just the path that I took, and I ran with it. And it kind of felt like I was living in a dream, like being on set and seeing all the wardrobe. Because, Roxy ate down, okay? She had looks to kill. And, like, that was me. I got to do that. I got to play that role. I felt like it's just so lucky. Like, I can't believe it's me, because when you're auditioning, there's 1,000 girls, and then there's 500 girls, and then there's 200 girls, and then there's 10, and then there's 3, and then it's you. And so it's like, oh my God, it's me.
That's amazing.
It's crazy. It's like a dream.
That's amazing. And at that young age, you were being so successful, you were being applauded. Did you feel like there was a path that was almost expected for you to take at that time? Like there was a path already set out for you as a young, rising Hollywood star that you were kind of being molded into?
I mean, there's definitely a formula. When you work with like a big machine like Disney Channel, they have like a formula. You guest star in a couple shows, and then they really like you, and then they create a show around you, and you also start singing, and then you have an album that collides with your show, and they both market each other. But what they didn't realize was that, like, I don't look like all those girls, you know what I'm saying? I didn't look like Miley or Demi or Selena, so that formula, it wasn't gonna work for me, And I think it was like, wait, what do we do now? Because I didn't want to sign my life away for a show, so I didn't do that. So I skipped one of the steps in the only formula they knew. And so it was kind of like, yes, I had this trajectory for myself, and I wanted those things too, but I'm so glad it didn't work out that way, because sometimes what you think you want isn't what you really need. And had it have gone that way, I don't know who I'd be. I definitely wouldn't be the me that I am today.
Yeah, so what did happen? What was your path, and what were some of the conversations you needed to have to clarify what it is you wanted to do versus what you weren't comfortable with doing?
Well, what really happened was, like, I guess, tug of war, me defending myself against a corporation and trying to like make my voice enough, Like I would write songs and I would have ideas and like they would just get molded, So I didn't know that wasn't normal. I just was like, oh, I guess that's what happens. Like whoever the bigger man is, they say what you sing and what you wear, and I guess that's normal. And it wasn't until like, I guess I was like 16, 17 that I was like, wait, it doesn't feel right that every idea gets shot down, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel right that, like, I'm singing these songs that I enjoy, but like, I'm just playing a role. So I kind of was like, who am I? And I guess that's what I had to find out through things kind of deteriorating in a way. Like, what do I really like? Because all I knew was how to say lines and how to be what I was told to be.
And that's a big question to grapple with at that age. Was that something you felt like you had to navigate just personally and just through, I don't know, conversations with yourself? Or what was that support system around you that enabled you to kind of see that and say like, no, that's not actually, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm going to do it on my terms?
I mean, I felt like trial and error was what really taught me who I am, because I could do everything great, but like some things just didn't feel like me, So I had to try a lot of different mindsets, I guess. Like, okay, I just want to do whatever is going to sell. Like, is this what y'all want? Okay, I'll do that. But then I was like, dang, my fans don't believe it. I don't believe it. Okay, that didn't work. Next thing. And I think it was like trial and error for me. And my support system, my family, like they had taught me like my core things, but like they can't walk out life for me, so they can support me. But at the end of the day, like it was just me against me,
Yeah. Wow. And so how did you make that decision? What were the things that you did next to sort of take yourself out of what could have been that path? Because what I'm hearing is it's a trip to be that person. You were just saying it was thousands of people, it was hundreds, it was, a dozen, it was a short list, and then it was you. So I'm sure you felt a lot of pressure to like be that person that, I don't know, the industry, the world wanted you to be, but you weren't comfortable with that. So how did you then make that decision to pivot and do something else?
The decision made me, okay? People are like, oh, you took this break. And I'm like, that break took me. I did not want that break. I had expectations for myself. I thought, okay, I've done this movie. I'm with this record label. I didn't want to say their name. I'm like, are they here? I'm with this label, like, it's only up from here. Like, they're talking about they want to do this show. I had expectations. I mean, I just thought, like, I'd be able to do it my way, just be exactly, like, what I liked, and that's just not how it worked, So it wasn't like I decided I'm stepping away from this toxic industry to grow. I was like, where the jobs at? Literally, I was like, where's the opportunities? And I guess like in that stillness, I hated it there, by the way. I did not enjoy that. I wanted to go. I'm competitive. I'm an athlete. I come from an athletic family. So I'm looking around and I'm like, they was just at the audition with me. Why did they get the... You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't deal. And I had to learn how to be okay with stillness and also how to not take it personally, because sometimes it's just not about you. It's not your time yet,
Yeah. And that's so hard. When you make a decision that you know you need to make for yourself, for your health, but that transition into that decision is so hard. So that's exactly what you're describing. It's almost like the FOMO or the guilt, the questioning, did I make the right decision? How long did it take for you to then settle into your new life that was a life of health for you?
LOL. The comparison, bro. That's what really gets me. It's the comparison. And as soon as I literally took my eyes off of everyone else, that's when I started to enjoy my own life. And I started to also realize, like, dang, I really only get one shot at this. I'm really gonna spend the whole time watching people. I'm giving fan, Like, I can't. I need to be present in my own life. And I'm like, okay, well, me talking to myself, I'm like, well, things aren't happening in my life, self. I don't like it. And I'm like, okay, well, what you gonna do about it? You can keep auditioning, you can keep putting this work in, or you can go home. And I'm talking to myself, and I'm like, well, I don't wanna go home. You know what I'm saying? So I had this inner dialogue with myself where I had to, like, make a choice. Make a choice to, like, be present here and to be positive. Like, the comparison just made me negative, and then that's all it was. It was just a cycle of, okay, this is fine, and then I'd look around and I'd be like, never mind, it's not. I hate it here. I hate it here. Thank you. And it was like, I can't keep going in that cycle with my one life. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna switch it up.
Yeah. Wow. So, thank you.
Thank you.
So I think a lot of us can relate to that pressure of comparison and just like looking at your feed, looking at other people, looking at their highlight reel. I can't imagine as a celebrity how much more that might be, exaggerated. So were there practical things that you needed to physically do to get away from that, to cut off that comparison and be just with yourself?
Oh, yes. Like, it's more than just saying, I'm going to be positive. It's like, then do it. Like, make your actions match your words. Keep that same energy with yourself. So, log off of social media, post and leave. I would not know what was trending, what was funny, who was talking about what. No, don't want to be involved. Post and I'm out. And also, like, spending time with people who thought highly of themselves. If all your girls is depressed, we're all going to be depressed together. You know what I'm saying? But I kind of changed up who I was around because, like, I was also around, like, the party girls. And I'm like, we're out and we're partying, but, like, I'm not living my best life. Like, it just looks really cute, but it's not really cute in here. So I had to find different friends with different mentalities and different ways of speaking about themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, if all you do is complain, it's just like, I can't keep doing that. I have to try something else. So I changed the people that I was around. And spiritually, like, I was really adamant about learning why I do certain things, why I believe these things, instead of just being like, this is what I was told my entire life. Like, okay, but like, what's real to me? You know what I'm saying? Like, what really makes sense to me? Like, I had to take the time to like really study and find my truths that really resonate with me.